Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. My name is Cristin, and today we're just gonna do like a little follow me around, I guess. I don't know. It is Sunday, my husband is home, and I don't plan to be out of the house all day, but I do plan to get some kid-free time. Excuse me. Got like this weird chest cold thing. No, it's not really even a cold. I don't know. It's like a cough. I've got like a mild cough. It comes on me in the evening and a little bit in the morning and it goes away. And it's like 10 in the morning right now. So I'm gonna run to the gas station, get some pops for me and the husband, bring them home. Okay, so drinks have been bought. I'm trying so hard. Oh, how do I want to say this? I don't know. Okay. I'm trying to eat less. Excuse me. So I don't know how much I weigh currently. Before getting pregnant with my son, I was at 283, which is like the highest I've ever been. And for anyone who's new here, I just had a baby. Like, he's a month old. So I was 283. I was trying to lose weight. I don't know how much I weighed before I started trying to lose weight, because I've been hitting the gym pretty hard and working out before I got pregnant with him. And then when I got pregnant and, started going to the doctor, I found out I weighed 283. So I don't even know what I was before I started going to the gym. There's really a good 3-year time span, because I had my first kid and then I just had my second kid. And during that 3 years, because my first is almost 3, I just really let myself go. I guess more like 2.5 years, whatever, because it takes 9 months to make a baby. But I knew I would have another kid, and I didn't gain a ton of weight with my first pregnancy, but like after I had him, I gained a lot of weight, because I was like, I just had a baby, because I was so cautious with what I ate with my first pregnancy. And after having him, I was like, I just had a baby, I'm gonna eat whatever I want. And I just kind of like developed really bad eating habits, like worse than like my normal eating habits. And I just really packed on the weight. So I don't know what I weigh right now, but I know like clothes are big on me. Like my shirts are really big on me. I'm starting to see my neck again, which I know sounds weird, but like I still have a double chin going on, don't get me wrong, but it's less. I'm seeing more of my neck. I feel better, and anyways, I'm trying to eat less, and I'm up all the time, like constantly moving, because I've got 2 kids to chase after. We're potty training my oldest. My newborn is constantly wanting fed. Laundry and dishes and household chores, and like I'm just constantly up and moving. And so I'm excited to find out how much I weigh now. I have my 6-week postpartum update on Tuesday. But I'm trying to eat less. Once I get cleared from the doctor, I'm going to start working out again. All that fun stuff. So all this to say that I'm trying to eat less. And so I got a small vanilla Coke, and then I got my husband the large Coke, so that's what he asked for. He always brings home the giant ones, and I can never finish them anyways, but he's always like, they're the same price as the small, so we should just get the biggest ones. Hold on. He texted me, I gotta respond. So anyway, not really sure where I was going with all that, but I got them donuts, which he just asked me. He's like, did you get donuts? So I just sent him a text and said, yes, I got you and our oldest donuts. But I decided to get myself a breakfast sandwich. It just sounded really good. It's got bacon, egg, and cheese, and I figured it's probably better than a donut. Granted, like, I'm sitting here having a Coke. Also, sorry about the steering wheel, like, taking up half the screen. It's, this is the best I can do. So, it's like in a tortilla. Okay. I thought it was like a flaky pastry crust, but eggs. That's pretty good. Not what I was expecting, but again, probably better than a donut. So what was I getting at? It just feels so nice to sit here and not have like kids with me. That sounds horrible. I love my kids, but it's nice to have some quiet. Speaking of quiet, we've been having car problems, so that's fun. My Grand Prix, hopefully we can fix this today. We're thinking a fuse went out in it or something, but like my radio's not working, the power locks and the windows are not working, the sunroof isn't working, some of these like overhead lights are not working, so that's fun. But hopefully that's an easy enough fix. Like, hopefully we can do that ourselves. I thought there's supposed to be like cheese in this. There's like nothing in here. And there's eggs and bacon. Right? Eggs and bacon. So I guess just like a little mukbang here. Who knows? Maybe I'll just cut it off here and just have a mukbang in the car. Haven't done one of these in a long time. So then our Dodge Journey, oh my gosh, it broke down on us. That's a 3-year-old car. Did you guys hear that? I had like a burp come up my throat. Like when I was like, you know, whenever like actually comes out, it just all, you know what I'm saying. Anyways, excuse me if you could hear that. But yeah, some of you guys know that I did a review on the Dodge Journey. A lot of you guys have found me from that video. I'm making messes. I just had a big hunk of egg fell on the side of my car. That was gone forever. So, there's like no cheese in here. Oh, there it is. I see it. It's like they put a slice of cheese in there. And I had to get to it first. I was expecting like shredded cheese. So, we called Dodge to find out what warranty we had because we couldn't remember. And we're down to having just like engine transmission warranty. Which I think is good because Dodge is so expensive for maintenance on the car. Like it's nice and luxurious having a brand new car, but like it comes with strings attached, and I'm not about having strings attached. Like I want to own my shit and be able to do whatever I want with my things. And so like we had times where we got a nail in a tire, and so my brother-in-law patched the tire. Well, then we got a nail in the same tire recently, I think it was. I'm trying to remember. Maybe this isn't the same time. We're really bad about getting nails in our tires. The back alley is just like littered with nails. I don't know why. But anyways, one time we took it in to see if they would patch a tire for us. And they said, no, we can't touch it because you already patched it yourself. And then here recently, we got another nail in a tire and we took it in to see if they could patch it for us. And they were like, well, we don't know. We'll have to look at it. So they take it off the wheel. They take the whole tire off the wheel, and then they come out to my husband and they're like, we can't patch the tire for you. Your tread is too thin, and you'll have to buy a whole new tire. And my husband's like, well, just put the tire back on and I'll go someplace else. And they're like, we can't do that. And it's like, wouldn't you know that the tread on the tire is too thin to patch the tire before you take the whole tire off the wheel? Like, that was a whole, in my opinion, a whole scam trying to get us to buy a tire from them. And that's another thing that, like, I wish we would have known before we bought the Journey. It's like $1,000 for a full set of tires. Like, fuck. Okay, like, I've never driven a car before that you couldn't get a tire from, like, less than $100. Like, normally it's $75 is the average. And it is $230 for a flippin' tire for the Dodge Journey. And we, like, of course, the dealership does not bother to mention how expensive that is because it has special tires. Special tires. I don't know if you can see my air quotes. So we've recently had to replace 2 of them. My parents are amazing and they bought one of them for us. But like, it's just frustrating. Like seriously, if we had known that it was going to be $1,000 to replace all the tires, or $230 for one, probably would have given us pause on buying the Journey. I'm just being honest with you. But anyways, enough of all that. I'm thinking it's just gonna be a mukbang. Like a little catch up, chatting mukbang. Let's see if we can get a thumbnail. This shirt is like, oh. Okay, so it's one of those like Irma Lularos. Which if you guys have watched my vlogs, you guys know I love my Irmas. But it has like this massive tail on it, and I was sitting on it and I was like pulling the front of my shirt up and like choking me. So I had to adjust that. So like people walking by. I'm still at the gas station, so I like straight up don't care. But I also feel weird when they like walk in front of my car. So Okay, hopefully something there works for a thumbnail picture. So anyways, when we found that out from Dodge, and Dodge wanted to charge us $300 for a tire replacement. Tire Barn charges $230, and then I thought, well, since we have to get a new tire anyways, since they took the whole freaking tire off the wheel and they're not going to put it back on, I thought, well, I'll call Bell Tire and get a quote from them and see what they're going to charge. And we'll go with whoever's the cheapest, which we knew Tire Barn was, you know, $230. So that already, like, ruled out Dodge. So, call Tire Barn. The lady is so rude, and she is wanting to know if the car is an all-wheel drive or a front-wheel drive. And I'm like, I think it's an all-wheel drive. And she's like, well, then you'll have to replace the entire set of tires or it'll burn up your all-wheel drive system, or however you say that. And I was like, oh, well, it must be a front-wheel drive then, because Tire Barn recently replaced one tire and didn't say anything. And she goes, well, some places are like that, so you have to bring it in for us to see. And I was like, oh, okay, thanks. And she hangs up on me. And I'm like, at the very least, for good customer service, you should have at least quoted me the price of one tire and then quoted me the price of a full set, if that's how it's going to be. You know, like, I called for a quote. I didn't call for you to give me whatever you gave me. Like, so I went on their Facebook and I left a review. And then they contacted me back and they're like, can you call us to let us know, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm not even interested. Okay, my review's here. I stated what happened, and I said I'm going to Tire Barn. Because here in my town, like, Tire Barn has been, like, the local tire place for pretty much my whole life, as long as I've lived here. Which we moved here in, like, 97. And who knows how long it's been since then. But it was, like, the main tire place. Like, you had you could go to, like, Walmart or, like, Sam's Club or obviously, like, the car dealerships. But as far as, like, standalone tire shops, like, Tire Barn was it. And we recently, within, like, the last 6 months, got a Bell Tire. And so I went on there and left that review. Because I'm like, I know a lot of other people in this town are, like, faithful to Tire Barn. And I just think everybody should go to Tire Barn. Tire Barn, not Bell Tire. Tire Barn. So anyway. There's like a ton of bacon in there. You seen all that? It's so good. So, a whole week later, maybe 2 weeks, I got like stuff stuck in the back of my mouth. Trying to work that out. But 2 weeks later, what happens? We started having problems with our all-wheel drive. Our all-wheel drive. Lights came on, and my husband got home from work because he's been driving it. He's been driving that car for a couple of years now. But anyways, we decided to go to a baseball game down the road that's for one of the nephews. And on our way home, the car made this horrible grinding sound, and we couldn't go over more than about 5 miles an hour. You hit 6 miles an hour, it started making that grinding sound. Thankfully, we were only like 2 streets away from home, so we just took it real slow the rest of the way. So that's when I called Dodge to find out about our warranty. Find out we only have engine transmission. I'm like, thank God, because I don't want to go to you anyways. Like, if it had been free, I would have went, but I have a suspicion that Dodge tampered with something. Just my personal opinion. So I call the mechanic that I've been going to for years. I had some really shit cars back in high school and like my freshman, sophomore year of college. And so I called them up and they came out to get the car. Unfortunately, they're like booked. So they said it's gonna be like 2 weeks before they can even really look at the car, which sucks. But if your mechanic's booked out 2 weeks, it also tells you probably have a good mechanic, which I know we do. He has fair prices. He's always done honest work. There's been times when he could have totally ripped me off. Same with my dad with his truck a couple times, and he didn't. He could, because we were swearing up and down on both these vehicles. We were swearing up and down it was electrical issues. And because I had a truck that did it, was my dad's, and then I had a Neon that did it, that was mine. And kept trying to replace a taillight, and it would like not work. no matter times we replaced it, it wouldn't work. Excuse me. Whew. So we took it in, insisting it was mechanical problems on both vehicles, both times. And the mechanic came out and said, you know, it's just a tail light, I got it fixed. So like, I don't know what we were doing, but he could have really taken us to town, you know? So anyway, he came to pick it up because I thought the car was going to need towed. So I couldn't go more than 5 miles an hour in it. And he had, I think it was his wife was with him. It's like I said, it's like a little mom and pop type shop. And so I'm pretty sure his wife was with him. She hops in the car. He goes and looks at it. And she hops in the car and starts driving it. I'm like, I can't go more than 5 miles an hour. And she's like zipping down the road. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And he comes up and he goes, oh, I pulled a sensor. I want to see how it would do. And the car is making no sounds and it's driving just fine. So he's like, more than likely it's a wheel bearing going out, and it's just put on that why are people parking? I see I'm like in the middle of like not in the middle, but like I'm in like the back part of the parking lot. It's so weird. Anyway. He's like, I pulled the sensor. He's holding this like this little tiny blue, almost looks like some kind of like a fuse or something. I don't know. He's like, I pulled this, and he's like, looks like the car's driving fine. So he takes it to the shop. I haven't heard anything back yet. It's only been a couple of days. Like I said, he said it could be 2 weeks before he could really look at it. But he said it's probably a wheel bearing going out. I just think it's awful suspicious that happened after Dodge wanted us to buy a whole tire. Because they came out to my husband and told him he had to buy a tire. He's like, I'm not doing that here when I get one at Tire Barn for considerably cheaper. And so they're like, okay, we'll go put on your donut and load up your tire wheel in the back of your car. And I just have to wonder if during that time frame, if they didn't tamper with the car. Because I just thought it was awful suspicious. And it also lines up with what the lady from Bell Tire said, who was like, it'll burn up your all-wheel drive system, which it didn't burn up the system. But there's a bearing going out, and or that sensor is bad now, which I just think it's awful coincidental. But apparently it was the sensor that was like making the sounds and like keeping the car from going fast, apparently. I'm making a giant mess with this. I'll have to vacuum out my car. But they say bad things happen in threes. So the Dodge broke down on us. I don't know how much that's going to cost, which means my husband's having to drive the Grand Prix for work, which, if you've been following me for a long time, you know this Grand Prix is almost 20 years old. It's a 2001 old car. It has 280,561 miles on it. High mileage. We've never had anything replaced in it, like as far as engine, transmission, like it's all there, you know. And for people who don't know what I mean by that, like you can replace an engine and then have an engine that has like 1,000 miles on it, and then like the rest of your car still has like the 200,000 miles, you know, but your engine has less. No, like everything in this car, for the most part, is all original. Excuse me, I'm getting the burps. And so, in a lot of ways, I feel like we're driving on borrowed time. And now my husband has to take this thing to Indianapolis and back every day until we get the Dodge Journey back. Which is the whole reason that he started driving the Dodge Journey, because we got the Journey for me when I had the baby, the first baby, to be my mom car. And the reason we did that, the reason he took over the Dodge is because we don't want to take on another car payment. And so, we decided that I would just drive the Grand Prix and keep it around town to try to baby it, more or less. And it drives fine up until recently. Now, granted, it's set for almost a month. We went out and started it, but we didn't drive it. I guess we should take it around the block or something, but it's set for almost a month. After I had my son, it was set for a long time. Well, my second baby here recently. And now it feels like it's getting a shimmy to it. They didn't have before, like there's a vibration to the steering wheel. Granted, I noticed on the way home yesterday that it's not doing it as much. Like, we went to a birthday party at my in-laws yesterday, and the whole 45-minute drive there, I was like really cautious driving it because it just felt like there was a shimmy to the wheel. But then one of the nephews, who just has his driver's permit, my husband took him out driving while we were there to get some hours under his belt for his trying to get his license. And apparently he had a mess up and he gunned the car, like slammed on the gas. And now it's not vibrating like it was. So, you know, maybe it just needed to, I don't know. Gunning it seemed to have fixed the problem. But something I noticed was that at about 30 miles an hour, when you hit 30, it now has a knock to it. So I don't really know what's going on. I think it's in the front driver's side tire area. My husband thinks it's coming from the back of the car. Regardless, there's a knock when you hit 30, and then it goes away after you go over 30 miles an hour. And it's not there under 30. It's like right when you hit 30 miles an hour, the car gets the knock to it. But I don't know what that's about. So that's not good. And my husband has to drive this for at least another 2 weeks, maybe longer, until we get the journey back. So, really hoping we don't have to take on another car payment. But that's bad thing number 2. And then bad thing number 3 is that with my job, they told me that I did not qualify for maternity leave. So, and then like there's all this paperwork I was supposed to have filled out. I called the corporate number to get the paperwork sent to me. And they're like, oh, you don't work enough hours to qualify for maternity leave. Which I only work the weekends. I only work 2 days a week. So, my boss talked to her boss, like the district manager. And they both agreed that I would just like not do anything and I should be able to stay on the roster. Excuse me, I have an itch on my ankle. So, that's what we did. Well, I told my boss to go ahead and schedule me, put me back on schedule because we need the money and to go ahead and start working me this weekend. I was going to work today. Couldn't do it because my name's no longer on roster. It's on like, I guess there's 2 different rosters. There's one roster that's hers for scheduling, and then there's like a main roster for like the whole company. I'm still on like the main roster, but I'm not on her roster for scheduling. Turns out that they went ahead and put me on maternity leave, even though they denied me when I called to ask for the paperwork. So I never sent in the paperwork, but they went ahead and put me on maternity leave. And so now I have to talk to my doctor about it and have her write something up saying I'm released to go back to work. However, we don't know if the company will take it or not because it's supposed to be written on some special papers that I don't have because I didn't qualify for maternity leave. So, who knows what's going to happen there? That's kind of up in the air. Which, if we're being completely honest, I don't really want to go back to work anyways. Like, I'm making enough from YouTube that I could quit and pay the bill that I need to pay with my job. However, with my job, I'm making about $800 roughly a month. In YouTube, I'm making about between $270 and $280, which the bill I have to pay is $230. I got a personal loan that we're paying on. Many of you have been following me for a long time. We'll just catch you all up on everything, okay? Because I haven't really filmed much since before having my baby. So, last year, almost exactly a year ago, the house next door to us caught fire. It was bad. I can leave videos below talking about all that if you guys are curious and don't know what I'm talking about. I know my older subscribers are like I talked on this a lot for like a month or two because it was kind of a traumatizing experience. It was terrifying. But the house was a total loss. So we were able to buy the house for about $2,000. And then we found a contractor to demolish the house for, what was it, like $7,000? And then maybe it was less than that. Because we already had a $1,000 personal loan out. And when we took out the second loan, we qualified for a $10,000 personal loan and we took out $9,000. And part of that was rolling in what we owed from our $1,000 loan. So anyway, you guys can do the math. How the house demolished, all that stuff. Well, the guy we hired, the contractor, let me know, any of my older subscribers who have been following this whole story, do you want an update video or a video talking about the contractor, what all he did? Because he did some shady shit. I can go way more in depth. I've got like actual text messages that I can show you guys proving he's an idiot. It got bad. He pretty much quit showing up and doing his job. And at the very end of where he like stopped showing up, like we needed to have the whole top layer of dirt removed and then dirt brought in to fill in the hole, more or less. That's pretty much where he quit showing up at. So we finally more or less paid him off, I guess, to stop showing up. It was a whole thing. We had to get a lawyer involved. We were like writing I think it's called the Attorney General, Better Business Bureau. Like, it was a whole thing. Heated arguments with him. It was a mess. So we did not get everything completed last year. So when we hired him last June to do everything, he said it'd be taken care of in 2 weeks. He drug it out for 6 months. And in November, we started getting things in process to like get rid of him. It was a mess. Anyways, neighbors on the other side started complaining this spring that the yard was still a mess. Which I get, they don't like living next to it. I don't like living next to it either. Like, $9,000 for this dang property and I can't even use it. It's frustrating, you know? It feels like a bunch of wasted money. Especially when it comes to that contractor. So, anyways, we don't want them putting in a complaint to the city, which we thought they were going to do. They did this whole thing where they're like, yeah, our landlord is complaining about your yard, and just to let you know, he's putting in a complaint to the city. But, like, I seen them talking to their landlord, and I seen how aggressively they were gesturing to the yard. And I told my husband, I said, they're complaining to their landlord. And then it wasn't 2 hours later, my husband and I were outside, and they came by, and they're like, just to let you know, our landlord's complaining. And they try to play it off like they're fine with it. Like, they know we work. They know we're trying to take care of it, blah, blah, blah. But, like, I know it was them. Thankfully, the landlord never went and put in a complaint to the city because we're really looking not to get, like, a lien put on the property for pressure to clean it up. Which we're trying to clean it up. It's just, it's hard to do it. It's been raining so much, for one. That makes it hard. And for two, like, I was at the very end of my pregnancy about to have a baby. So that kind of made it where I couldn't get out in the yard. My husband works all week. Like, so anyways, the money we had saved up to clear the lot and bring in dirt, we ended up spending on a privacy fence, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with just putting a privacy fence and dealing with everything on our own time. But we looked into places to take the dirt, and nobody wanted